Oh, turn it up.
Turn
it.
Yeah,
Turn it to about 5.5.
Middle ground.
Yeah, just right in the middle there. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets Podcast.
Let's go.
Man, I'm excited for this show. We were sitting here in this very studio. It felt like minutes ago, Eric.
That's really what my life is. It's just I'm either in this studio or I'm not, and the times that are in between those times are getting smaller.
It's very, very true. But you love being here.
Let's go to the next post.
Nuggets get the win last night. We're going to hear from Brendan Vogt, get his thoughts on it, but we're also going to talk a little bit more. The game was somewhat interesting. Post-game, we had some discussions.
The game was not at all interesting.
But afterwards, after the game ended, after the post-game ended, we got a comment from Jokic that was like, my eyebrow raised. If I could do that independently, I would do it. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to predict some stats. Like Jokic is getting triple doubles damn near every game. So does that mean he's going to get 20 more? We'll talk about that as well as some other statistical milestones that help me do it. Though back from his break, it's Brendan Vogt.
So good to be back. I did tune in for the Clippers game, even on my vacation, because
Nuggets Clippers.
Yeah, because you got to watch the Clippers.
No, Clippers Kings.
You got to watch the Clippers lose to the Nuggets.
Does that mean you did not tune into the other games?
I did not watch the Memphis game. No, I was on vacation, bruh. I was with my family.
On my vacation, I watched the Nuggets. Over here, I got D-line.
I watched.
So did I.
I watched
Just
Nuggets
told you
at
that.
4 a.m. on my vacation.
I love your little tiny pocket.
You know what's in there? My heart.
Oh.
Although I want to flame vote, but you made the right decision.
Yeah, I was on vacation.
That game
not
actually
watching the
sucks.
Memphis game.
Yeah, not watching the Memphis game. You made the wrong decision. I'm telling you, people always say this about the show, and I'm always like, if DNVR folded, like after a game, I'd be like, I'll just call Eric, call Win. I'm like, hey, man, let's talk about this game, man.
That's what.
Hop on a three-way phone call.
Yeah, it's like let's do the show, guys.
I used to go to the game by myself, then would like bother you guys, and then afterwards I would poison the timeline.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did. I just get in the Slack and talk to myself.
You were coming in hot for sure on the
That
Clipper
was
game.
really annoying.
And then over here, we got Harrison Wind.
Was last night a good win, or was everybody just stat padding? I don't know.
I love that stat padding is
Stat padding against the Houston Rockets. I don't know.
It's going to become so insufferable. I can't wait. Anything they throw at us, we have to make
Like
1,000 times more
I
insufferable.
feel like I shouldn't make a stat padding shirt. I should make like a stat padding adult onesie. It's like a full outfit that we all wear around all the time.
I mean, it's just becoming more and more clear. The NBA just better hope the Nuggets don't win the championship.
Oh, my God.
They better hope we do not get Ilario B, because we will be insufferable.
Yeah.
That's what there's. It's just coming. I hope they know that.
It's true. I took a personal vow of silence about this Jokic debate. Like, I rarely get sucked into him anymore from like the last 5 or 6 years, but it's not because I'm not ready. It's just because there's no point in going back and forth on like a hypotheticals.
You get some good Twitter engagement, though.
You could change some
out
people's
of it.
minds
It's
online
not bad.
for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Pretty
you
good
can totally
engagement.
Oh, you're
this
going
time
to
of
change
year.
everyone's mind.
Yeah, it's like I'm not here to change minds. I'm here to dance on your grave when you're proven
That's
wrong.
right.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's Twitter.
Yeah, that is what Twitter is for. But guys, after the game, I actually vote. Any takeaways from the game last night? I mean, you watched last night.
From the Houston game? Yeah, I did watch last night. And, Houston isn't very good.
Yeah.
Did you guys
We
notice
noticed
that?
it, yeah.
Well, first of all, I think it was very clear that Jamal struggling in that Clippers game was related to those back issues. He looked much better against Houston. He looked great. The bench...
By the way, he was annoyed by Vic's questions after the game about his health. So
really? Was he? Shocker. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how you know Jamal's back.
That's how you know.
That's how you know he was hurt, too.
But okay, good job, guys. But I just say that to say that I don't know that the back spasm thing is a lingering thing. It could be. It could be. I mean,
I just felt discomfort in that game. But anyway, he was moving so much better. The starters just look great, man. The starters. It would take such a major shakeup, knock on all the wood, to throw those guys off the tracks at this point. They're all moving in the right direction, the same direction. You just don't worry about that unit. The bench, I was less than thrilled about. I know they got it together in the second stint a little bit, but playing Houston, I was hoping to see it look even better than it did. And I think that's really, for me, the two biggest questions about this team that can't be answered in the playoffs, that can only be answered between now and then, are how do they look on the road and how does that five-man bench lineup look? I'd say the latter, we're still waiting for some positive affirmation.
Here's a take about the bench from last night. Reggie Jackson was dealing Did you guys see the tweet I put out that
Yeah.
had all his assists?
Yeah.
His 8 assists and 1 turnover.
Yeah.
He was dealing, man. Like, he looked great, especially in the second half. And Denver got a lot of really good looks out of the Reggie Jackson, Thomas Bryant pick and roll.
Yeah.
They got like 3-4 really good looks.
That's what they need. Honestly, this
That's
is
the base of the bench
This
unit.
is my thing about Thomas Bryant is they
Yes.
haven't gotten to that yet.
Deal it to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Deal it to
Deal
him.
it
He
to him,
did.
deal it
Reggie
to him.
Jackson had a couple really nice
Yeah.
passes
Because-
to Thomas Bryant last night.
Yeah.
Because
I just think
DeAndre
we'll see more
Jordan
of that.
can do what you're asking Thomas Bryant to do. You know what I mean?
Right,
the
right. Stay
idea
out
is,
of the
can he
way
do
and,
more?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
can he be a
I was
part of
thinking
it?
about this also. Like I was trying to search my feelings on Thomas Bryant because I share a lot of the same views that a lot of the people report back to me when I give out a more negative slant.
Sure.
In that I do appreciate that he's playing very hard. I
Right.
do appreciate his desire to fit in. I do appreciate the position that he is in. But I also remember like last year, Boogie Cousins came in and just like was amazing and like won games. And like you can have that kind of impact coming from the bench as a center. And I'm not expecting that from him, but like we want to win this thing, man. Like I want weapons on this squad that can like really make a difference and not just be like water wings.
Do you think he'll be the exact same player in like 2 weeks? It might be, honestly. I'm saying, but is that what you expect right now?
I don't know. No, I like this is a past performance does not predict future. Like I'm just saying, like what I've seen so far has not been great. Like, do I think that that's all we could ever get out of him? Absolutely not. Because again, I saw him do it to Nikola Jokic in the Denver Nuggets. Like I've seen him do it. I'm big
It's
on
actually
like.
hilarious that that's the best
I'm
game
like-
we've seen
yeah,
him play.
I'm
is
big
against
on-
Denver.
I know.
I'm
He's
big
been
on-
a shell of himself since that game.
I'm big on if I've seen it, I know it can happen. So I've seen it. I know it can happen. So like, I want to see some impact, man.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially now with this big game coming up on Friday against a real team that actually has a good bench. You know, they're shorthanded because without Adams, but they still have like a lot of guys, and Brandon Clark can be, you know, whatever. And he kind of dominated that matchup too. Like, so I'm excited to see that one, and especially coming off the game. But I want to get off. We got to get to our top story today, guys. This is what the people are clamoring for after the game. Let me start here. Have we ever heard Jokic reference a media narrative before?
No.
Are we sure about this? Chat can help us out.
He's never brought one up
Has he
himself.
ever like there's conversation that surrounds Jokic, but has he ever like broken the wall and been like, no, I'm seeing this, and or commented on it?
He's like,
I can't think of one now.
I think it's 0 times.
yeah, he's never like, you know, I've got some thoughts on Mr. Nugget.
That would be a real deep cut if he were to go there. That would be incredible.
Have those
You
guys,
guys should
named
stop
Mr.
doing
Nugget
it.
yet? No? Okay, let me get my thoughts on that.
Well, last night he did just that, and I wonder if it broke him. Let's find out.
Nikola, what does 100 triple doubles mean to you?
I mean, when you start batting, it's easy, you know, so.
You heard that, right? You heard the stat padding stuff out there.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's
What's your
true.
reaction to it?
It's true.
So is that why you went up and rebounded the ball 5 times on that one play to score?
No, he blocked me on the first time, so. And I grab it and I just miss it.
Yeah.
All right,
Nikola,
all right. Let's break
what
this
does
down. Like
100
there you go.
I've seen this before.
What?
I've seen that switch before. I've seen it in Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, that's actually who we reminded.
Oh wow.
too.
Okay.
I've seen this before. I saw
Okay.
Novak. The story of Novak Djokovic is that he was young, talented, but he was actually really brash and he was very immature. He would get kicked out of he lost matches due to complaining and smashing his racket, all these things. And then he worked on his fitness, he changed his diet, he got in world-class shape.
Yeah.
And then the attitude changed, and you get this wry smile, and you get this like, this is pure grade in not. This is like, okay, like I am what you say I am. Like, let's go. Like, and then he just from that point forward has become absolutely dominant. I saw that in Yoke. I saw the like, okay.
These are matters of degree. I love it, by the way. This is you summarized, I think, this entire thing here. There's degrees of this because thing that always sticks out to me, the Anthony Davis shot in the bubble. The play right before that, Jokic hits a game winner. He was, from a talent perspective, ready to be on that level, in the conversation. He wasn't an MVP yet. If you recall, I can't remember if it was that exact inbound or one right after that. He's on the ball and he's doing goofy stuff. He's like clapping through the legs and kind of doing this. And I just remember kind of being like, game's not over. And this is like that goofiness to him. Remember how he had so much goofiness to him early on, and he loved to be the Joker and the prankster.
The Joker.
He was just young, though. I mean, it was just, this isn't a critique. It's just that he was a kid. And I kind of feel like that moment, because he was feeling himself, just had a game winner, like I'm going to be the little prankster and this. And then Anthony Davis hits it, and it's a low point. It's like, oh my God, this was just taken from us. Maybe the series, we're not going to get through this one. And I kind of feel like that was a degree where it's like, okay, and I haven't seen him do that stuff in a meaningful way ever again. Like, it's been like, no, when you're on here, you got to be a little bit, you got to put on a facade. Yeah. I do feel like this is degrees, but that comment right there and the way he delivers it, like, there's an anger in him about like, what the F is wrong with everybody?
There is, because when you question somebody for stat padding, you're questioning their integrity for the game of basketball.
Yep.
And you're questioning whether they respect the game. And I think Jokic's perspective on this, and look, he's heard all the noise before. We like to talk about him as this like insulated guy with no social media. Look, he's got brothers, he's got family, he's got teammates. He's heard all the noise. It's pretty incredible how none of it's affected him, but he's definitely heard it. But when you say somebody is stat padding and disrespecting the game, I think Jokic is particularly pissed off at that, because like, I think from his perspective, if there's one thing that you can say he did in his career, when you look back on it, it's that he played the right way, and he had the utmost integrity, and he respected the game, and he played for the right reasons, and he played for his teammates, and he played for the greater goal. That's why I think Jokic got so pissed at this, because, yeah, you can say, like, oh, I'm not a good defender, even though he is, like, leading all centers in steals this year. Oh, like, I haven't had the playoff success. I haven't won a championship. He probably looks at all that stuff and says, okay, like, you can make those arguments. But when you question his, like, basketball integrity, I think that's what really pisses him off. And I think that's why he addressed it, because you're questioning that he doesn't respect the game. And I think that's what Jokic probably does more than anybody. And that's what I think he values in basketball.
I think that's spot on. I think they really hit a sore spot for him.
But here's my question. So you don't think it's related to everything else? Meaning if there was none of the other stuff, you think it would have been the same reaction? Or do you feel like this is a bit of not a straw that broke the camel's back, because it's a big thing, but that it's like a wearing down of all of this stuff?
I don't know if it's a wearing down. I just think it's, when you say somebody is stat padding, like I said, you're just saying like, oh, they don't think this is for real. Like they don't really respect the game. Like they just think it's bullshit and a bunch of stats. And I just think that really pisses off Jokic, is me kind of knowing what he values.
I'm almost less excited about that. It might be true, by the way. I don't know. But I'm almost less excited about this vote than I would be if it was like, no, he's reaching a breaking point. Because part of me is sitting here going...
I mean, I think this could turn him and like refocus him and energize him. But I think just the stat padding is kind of what set him off.
What I mean is, I wonder if like 4 years ago someone said he was stat padding, if he would have been like, okay, like whatever. But it's just like, it's been 4 years of he's not actually good, and it's because he's white, and it's only because of this and this and this. If it's fine, he's just finally like, all along he's been filing it away, and this was the first time where he let it slip. I mean, this is what it felt like to me, is like he let it slip, that he's like, no, I hear all of it, and I'm coming. Like that's kind of how.
I think he's always heard it. I do. I think he's always heard it. I think this,
but it's loudest over the last.
But it's loudest. Yeah. It's loudest, and it's also right now. I think one thing Jokic takes more seriously than ever before is his and this team's chances of doing it, of winning it all. Right. I think he very much understands of how close they are to it. So, there's an irony to the. He's probably never been more focused on winning than ever before. So I do think all of this stuff is coming to a head right now. It's enough to get him to react. I don't know if it'll ever inform the way he plays. Maybe the way he answers those questions, maybe the way he carries himself. I don't know. I still think when he hits the court, his first instinct is to be Jokic about it and not anyone else. But we'll see.
We see there's different Jokic's though. There are different Jokic's. There is angry Jokic. We've seen it. And I do think I think kind of both things are true. Like I think this is I saw like kind of a meet the new me kind of moment in his eyes, and I think comes on because they said the one thing about him, he's finally like, okay, that's it. Like, you're going to question my integrity that I'm trying to dress up and fool people into believing that I'm good at the game when I'm actually not. Like now we have a problem, you know?
So you expect then, I mean, because here's the real question. Like, we've been talking about a knot for 4 or 5 years, whenever the word first kind of entered the lexicon for us. And we've been talking about like what that means and the different things. There's a big part of me that just kind of expects Jokic. Like, people have been complaining all year, like, needs to be more aggressive, this or that. They have the best offense in the history of the game. And I do feel like there's a level of, do I need to take over now, Tuesday, October 31st, or do I need to try to build habits and then later on I'll have then I'll take over? And I honestly feel that I've always felt that was the one. Like, Jokic always comes through with effort-wise when it matters most. So I feel like he has it, and I feel like that's kind of the point here, is that he's like, no, guys, I am ready. Like, this is coming. That's to me the turn, is I feel like it's going to be needed for the Nuggets to win, but I kind of feel like it was our first hint that he knows the Nuggets need that to win, and it's like, no, the not run, I know that's what's ahead of me. I know it's what's ahead of me.
Yeah. No, I think so. I definitely think this can be a point where it's like a market demarcation, like this season.
I agree.
Going forward, man, like, he could just have it dialed up to a 100 every single game. You know? Like, he could just be in that mode from here on out.
I still think it might be too early, though.
I would love.
It is too early.
Nikola Jokic.
But I saw it in his eyes just like Eric did.
Yes.
Like, you saw that in his eyes in that
Like,
clip.
okay.
I think that's an extension of something that started 2 years ago. We touched on that earlier. I think he's been moving towards this place. What you talked about on the sideline, you know, people joked, like, remember when he used to break microphones and make weird noises into them? Like, we've come a long way from a lot of that stuff.
And some of that's his personality, and I'm glad he maintains it, but it's understanding the moment.
I think we've seen the maturation of an organization's most important person and understanding of that over the course of the years. It would be really cool if this is a little bit of like a kind of John Wick meme moment. And I don't think we would see it till the playoffs. He doesn't need to do it now. This team is cruising. But it would be really awesome to see, to see him just sort of take that element personally of I am going to deliver this to you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I know Jokic is watching this. Nikola, if I could. Score 100 points in a game. Just do it.
You mean stat pad?
Pad those stats.
Next
score 101 points.
Is Nikola Jokic too selfish of a player?
He's too selfish.
But I think he's always cared and heard more than we think. And I think what we're getting at is this about to turn a corner. Is about to hit another level.
And here's the thing, this is my last point on the matter, is it's not going away. No, and I think that's the thing. Like, does he enjoy the discourse? I do think he's above it. He talks about his goal after he retires is he won't have a phone. Like, I do think he's above it more than almost any player in a way that's probably extremely healthy. But I do hope that, I think he has a realization of it's not going away. There's only one way to shut people up, and it's going to require, like, these guys are coming at you. And they're not just coming at you to beat you on the court. They see him as a symbol for something even greater at play here, whether that's fair or not. But they're coming for him to make a statement. And I just hope, and I think I saw last night, to your point, the look in his eye, that he's like, well, I'm making a statement too. Let's both make statements and see where the chips fall. And if we get that version of Jokic, nobody's beating him. Nobody's beating the Nuggets, and nobody's beating him.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to look back on all this discourse. Well, we already laugh at it now, but people are going to have some real egg on their face in years and years and years when we look back at this discourse. I can't wait for that.
I know. It's like
history will be right.
I hope we're getting this version of Jokic. And to be honest with you, when we need it first is Friday night. I do think it's early. Like, does Jokic need to pull that out against the Spurs next week? In all seriousness?
I want it, man. Humble the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies game, I said they need it. But I'm just saying, like, there's a moment in time where Jokic's going to have to go into the whole players, not just Jokic, but everybody's going to have to, like, what did LeBron do? 0 dark 30 or whatever. Remember, he used to do this thing where he turned off his phone, even though he'd still be caught liking things around the time. But whatever.
Jokic just only watches horse races.
He's like, my phone is off. The first page of the book is open. No one bothered me.
But I'm saying symbolically, there is this like, nope, mentally I have to go to another place and not leave it. I don't think he needs to go there now. I don't think anybody does. I think you burn yourself out. You need it for Friday. but you might not need it on Sunday or Monday or whatever it is the next game. But I do think there's going to come a point when Jokic has to be like, all right, it's time to go. Like, now is the put up or shut up moment, and I need to make sure all of these guys pay for these stupid things they've been saying about me. I hope he has that in him.
All he did, by the way, in terms of asking for this, all these things being said around him, is average a triple-double for the 1 seed in the West. He didn't ask for any of this.
It's so unfair,
all
man.
All he's done is be
It's
that
wild,
good.
yeah, dude.
And now he's at the center of this.
Here's the worst part of it, actually, because I have a bunch of friends who are like Jokic, friends in media that are Jokic haters. And I'm like, when you talk to them, they're always like, I love Jokic. I just hate his fans. Here's the thing people don't realize is that our social media experiences, people should learn this. We're 15 years into social media. You've selectively curated your list intentionally and unintentionally. And if you have a guy you like, you have unintentionally brought in the worst arguments into your world so you can break them down. You brought in the straw man and you're like, everybody's talking about Jokic like he's this. Like, no, they're not. You just found them. Like, I find the worst arguments because I'm in the Jokic world, so I find the worst ones against him. They come into my zone. The argument that I like Jokic, I just hate his fans. No, you don't. You just found the worst of his fans online because it helped you beat up a straw man argument, and now you've used that as a facsimile for everybody else in the world.
Yeah, I also, if you're on that side of the argument, you don't love Jokic. Let's just get
That's
that
so
out.
true. Yeah, that's so true.
Stop.
It's so true. Anyway, we got to take a break. On the other side, I want to talk about Jokic. Guys, some crazy numbers. 20 triple-doubles in his last 31 games. So how many is he going to get to end the year? He's getting them almost every single game. Let's talk about it.
Guys, March Madness is coming. We've teamed up with Run Your Pool to give you a chance to compete in a bracket challenge. We got a bracket challenge going on with the DNVR family, so make sure you get in on this. Selection Sunday is March 12th.
Couldn't get on that.
Then the first games are March 14th, March 15th. You have to get your bracket in before March 16th. That's
Oh, yeah,
when
look
the
at this
first
little
round
scan
tips
thing
off.
right here. Yep.
You can scan that QR code right
I'm
there.
setting up right now.
Brings up our page. That's how you can register for our bracket challenge. Here are the prizes.
Ooh, I know them because I'm looking at it right now.
First place, $300 cash.
Ooh.
$75 DNVR locker gift card. Second place, $150 cash. Third place, $50. It's free to play. Hit that QR code, or you can head to play.runyourpool.com/DNVR.
It's going to be fun, guys. I'm excited for this one. Kind of planting the seed right now, but here in 2 weeks when this thing begins, I want all of you guys in it. Should be a lot of fun.
Well, you're up against me because I just signed up.
There you go.
Yeah, I know this for a fact. Eric has not watched one college basketball game this season.
Is David Roddy involved?
No.
Dead to me.
JiveHive.com. JiveHive is a virtual dispensary on wheels. Go to JiveHive.com. See if you are in their delivery area. They serve Aurora, Greenwood Village, Monument, Fountain, and various areas of El Paso County. JiveHive.com. Super convenient, great pricing, privacy, security. That's stuff that they definitely value. Look, you can just be sitting on your couch watching the DNBA show. Schedule delivery. Go to jivehive.com.
Schedule delivery right now. Sit on my couch on the DNBA show.
Second segment here of the DNVR Nuggets podcast. Also want to tell you guys real quick, Kel, can you find the artwork? March 25th is our next takeover event. It's a little bit unique. There's a link on our website where we always have the takeovers where you can buy the bus pass. It's $20, I believe. Is that right, Kel? $20. You get a ticket to ride on the bus. But here's why this game in particular is important. Guess who they play on the 25th? The Milwaukee Bucks.
Ooh.
I think that game, honest to God, that one and the one right after it against Philadelphia, those two games are going to determine the MVP. Do you want to come watch the game that will determine the MVP in the company of all of us? Check out our tailgate and party bus, the takeover event, which we're going to be having on March 25th, and you can buy tickets for $20. You have to buy your Nuggets ticket separate, but this is great for all you season ticket holders. Just hop on the bus, ride with all of us. It's going to be a party.
We can't. The Nuggets are too popular. We can't get like package deals on tickets
is
anymore.
too good.
So we're like, we still want to bring people together. People already have tickets. Use Game Time. Get a ticket.
You also get a beer going there and a beer coming back for free, which is awesome.
This way, you're still going to hang out with the homies.
Hang out with the
ride
homies.
the bus. You can get irresponsibly drunk at Pepsi Center. We give you right back. All right, Ball Arena.
So everybody sign up for these. By the way, this is our test pilot for the playoffs. So in the playoffs, we're not going to be able to get group tickets for playoffs, obviously, but we want to be able to like, hey, let's all tailgate a Saturday game. It's at 4:00. Let's all come to the bar around noon.
Yeah.
Drink together, have a good time.
Yeah.
Get drunk. Go to the game.
Yeah.
Watch it. Watch it, and then afterwards we'll
Get
come back here
thrown
and
out of the
celebrate.
game being
Get thrown out.
irresponsibly drunk.
All right, guys. Jokic has 24 triple doubles on the season, which is a lot. He set a new high. His previous high was 19, which was set last year, but it's better than that, you guys. He only had 4 triple doubles in his first 24 games of the season. He just had 4. Since then, he's had 20 triple doubles in the last 31 games. 20. That's 2 out of every 3 if we do the math right. Yeah. He's had 16 triple doubles in 19 of his last home games.
Yeah.
His last 19 home games. He's had 4 in the last 12 road games. So that begs the question. These numbers, by the way, why did I cut it off at 31 games? Well, that's Yokmas. Since Yokmas, 20 out of 31.
Screw BJ.
So
Nobody
here's my
likes those
question:
anyway.
How
I've
many?
always hated those.
I also like it. I'll bet you the numbers are even higher for when you just factor like is Michael Porter playing or not, and is Murray playing or not. Then when the team is healthy, it's almost a lock to get a triple double. So how many is he going to get? There's 20 games left. What's what pace here?
I kind of think
20.
I kind of think he gets 20.
He could get 20.
He's not getting 20. He's
He's
not
good.
playing in 20 games.
Okay, how many games is he playing? 15. Get 15 then.
We are at the point right now where I do expect it every night.
Absolutely, man. And the reason he didn't have as many triple doubles at the beginning of the season, it's because his teammates weren't as good. Jamal Murray wasn't as good. Michael Porter Jr. wasn't as good. Here's the thing about assists, and actually why it's impossible to stat pad assists. You need your teammates to actually make the shot. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. weren't making as many shots earlier in the season. Now they are.
True.
Now they're playing great.
Can you imagine how dope? We should actually say he is stat padding because they have the number 2 offense right now behind the Kings, but the number 2 offense all time. He'd be like, yeah, and he's stat padding.
This is like
He's so good, he can stat
exactly.
pad.
He's so good that he can stat pad, and the Nuggets still win every time.
Right.
And they still have the best offense in the NBA, and he's pretty much like not even trying.
The way you stat pad for assists is you leave him in the game well after it's decided and you let him throw the ball around, which they've done a few times.
No, they haven't. That's a lie. They have not. They've done it one time.
Okay.
They've done it one time.
They did that one
I'm going
time.
to push back on this because they have not done that.
Okay, they did it that one time.
They did it once.
do that one time.
And the game was close enough that you can make it because it was like 23,
did it that one
24,
time.
and then it got cut to like 15.
The headband
You're like,
game is
did they
the only
need
time
to?
they've stat
But I wanted-
padded,
I
man.
Oh, the headband game from last year.
That's the only time they've done it.
Oh, they did it
Oh,
this
yeah.
year. They did it this year. But
Yeah,
I
No,
wanted
they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
That was
And
a
then
10-point game,
They called
bro.
a timeout and took him out right after. I
Because
stand
it
by
was
that.
then a 13-point
Well,
game.
I will say this. I don't think we can call
You're
that
crazy.
stat
You guys
padding,
are
even
crazy,
if you
man.
are right that they pulled
You're
him out right
crazy.
after.
I brought this up to say I want to acknowledge that because we made that joke a couple weeks ago and now we're
You guys are
talking
the
about
reason
it.
this whole thing started.
The fundamental,
know that.
the fundamental difference
That's
is that,
definitely not
is
true.
that Jokic's approach to every game when it starts is to win the game, and the reason he's in a position to get a triple double every night is because that's his approach.
The reason they
I
pulled him
acknowledge
out, so here's where I'll put him back. In that game, the reason they pulled him out is because he came in and it was like a 10-0 Nuggets run immediately, culminating with the play that put him over the triple double. But it wasn't like they wouldn't have pulled him out had he got that triple double and they were up 12 instead of 10. It's just that he came in, it was immediate like Yoke scores,
Yeah,
Yoke rebounds,
I
assists.
agree with the larger point that that's not what he's doing. I very much agree with that.
50% of his games this year are triple double, and 65% of the last 31. So there's if he would get 12 more at a 60% rate, obviously over 20 games.
Yeah.
If I think he gets 10 more triple doubles this year. I think he gets because I honestly just feel like the default.
There's 20 games left?
I think 10 out of. I think he'll play 16 games
I'm
and
going
he'll
to go
get
with
10 triple doubles.
20. I think he's going to get a triple-double every game now.
I don't think he's some of these games at the end of the year though, like they're not. He might play a half.
Well, he got one.
He got one last night.
23 minutes.
But you
That's the
think?
thing.
I just don't know that they're going to try for it, man. Like
They didn't try for it last night.
yeah, but that's the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah, he's that much better than every team. Like he can get a triple double every single night. It's not triple double isn't like scoring 50 for Nick. You know, it's not like it doesn't take the ball in his hand every time. It just means like he is just in supreme control of the game. And like,
He didn't get a triple double 3 games ago against the Memphis Grizzlies.
well, I mean that game was a disaster.
But
no one could make.
But you're
any
just
shots.
saying nobody's gonna. They won't have another disaster game.
No.
The thing is, the Nuggets
That was
right
the only
now,
one of those they've had this year.
Well,
How-
I mean, then he didn't have a triple-double a couple of games before that. Like, he didn't have one against Miami. He had a great game. 27, 12, and 8, dominated it. 12 of 14 shooting, but it wasn't a triple-double.
I think
Give
what
me
we're
20.
getting at, though, is that the Nuggets right now are just set up to play the exact style of basketball Nikola Jokic wants to,
Yeah.
and have never been more set up in the Jokic era to play that way. Like, this is how Nikola Jokic wants to play.
Yeah.
He wants to pass, he wants to get his teammates going, and then he wants to step on the gas and floor it and
Yeah.
score if he has to win the game. That's how he wants to play, and the Nuggets have just masterfully constructed this roster to allow him to play that way.
Yep.
And that's why he's getting these triple doubles, because he wants to pass.
It's exactly
This is how he wants to
This
play.
is exactly right. This is a product of the perfect roster construction.
Yes.
It is. You're right. Because in years past, it was like, oh, it's imbalanced. We need more scoring. I need to score. So I'll shift away from assists or rebounds, whatever. I mean, rebounds he always gets, but it always hinges on the assists. That is what holds him back from a triple-double or not. And yes, it's like now he can reliably count on other teammates to, when he puts them in the right place, to take advantage of that and actually score.
And they trust him. Like, they're not guys that are taking possessions away from him. They're playing through Jokic more than ever before because all of the team like has bought into that. Like, Aaron Gordon and KCP are like, yeah, we're playing through Jokic. Don't play through me. I say, so you say 20, or you say 100%
All right,
of his
listen,
games.
I'll say
100% of his games.
I'll
he
be
plays.
conservative here, and I'll say 18.
All right, you say 18.
19.
Do you regret it now?
I,
You should've-
man, I'm with
damn it.
Eli. Like, I expect him to get a triple-double every game.
Can we
Like,
set a line?
That is the
No, I want you
expectation.
to give your number.
It is the average.
18, 19.
All right, I'll say I'll go the other way and say like 15.
That's not the other way. I'm gonna go 10. Or actually, I'll go 11. I'll go 11 because I think he's gonna sit out like 4 games. So I think he's gonna play 16, and then I think there'll be 5 games that he doesn't get. It's about the average that he's at right now. And those, well, by the way, are not gonna be bad games. They're gonna be 33, 14, and 9.
No, Adam, you are being reasonable here. Unfortunately, we're talking about the most unreasonably good basketball player that's ever laced him up. He's going to get fucking, and he's also. Did you not see that clip? Did you not see that look in his eyes?
I hope you're right about this.
That's a look in.
How confident are
that's
you
the
that
look
he's on a
Nikola-
killer mission
or,
right now?
I'm telling you, So I spend my time with young people all the time, these morons, other idiots around here that think they know things. Nobody knows things. I know things, and not because I was given the gift of wisdom from God himself, although I was a little bit. It's just that I've lived like 10 lives. I've seen things happen before, and time is a flat circle. And when you see things like Novak Djokovic go through that exact
It's the same
thing,
look Djokovic had before he
Yes.
became the best tennis player in the world.
it's
Actually,
absolutely the
coming
case.
from an avid tennis fan.
Yeah, you're always talking.
I'm just
tennis.
telling you, it's absolutely the case. You just
The
see this.
tennis
It's
outfit he's got going on over
it's a graceful, classy, high end murderer, and he's
hope
like
so.
he's not like he's
Graceful
like
murderer.
okay, and he will just fucking kill you.
I mean, I'm very hopeful for it. I'm very hopeful.
It's on,
like
dude.
it.
I'm telling you, it's
It was
on.
so noteworthy. We made a whole segment
I
out of
also
it.
don't
On.
think. I also don't think. Well, any of this is like concerted effort stuff. To Wynn's point, I just think the way they're playing basketball right now gives
Right.
way to Jokic's triple doubles.
Yeah,
Right.
he's shut off his brain in a way where like he's not really thinking; he's just playing,
Oh, his autopilot is at an all-time high.
and it's just resulting in like
Dude,
10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
Every
He's an
halftime
upgraded
is 6, 6,
self-driving
and
car.
6. Like every halftime, you're like, all right, well, he's
Yeah.
at least 6, 6, and 6. Sometimes it's 15.
15, 6, and 6
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one? Will he average a triple double? It sounds like this is an easy yes. He right now has 1 assist to spare.
Yeah, I say yes.
One more
I mean, of course.
3 assist game, he's screwed.
All right. Well, it gets a little touchy up here about whether Jokic cares or not. You know who I do think cares?
Michael Malone.
I mean, that's for sure. Michael Malone definitely cares
I'm gonna
about
say-
this more than
So
anybody.
this is your real point. Yoke's not stat padding. Michael Malone is.
Sure, that's fine. Because I don't look. Jokic's approach is to win. I'm not arguing that at all. But I will say, if Malone is aware of these numbers and if there's anything he can do, like I don't know, maybe keeping him in an extra 5 minutes or whatever, I think that might happen.
Yeah, Michael Malone will get the job done.
I know
I
this.
think that's what will happen,
Bro.
Michael Malone is
He wants it so bad.
he is an expert standings manipulator.
Yeah, he is.
He's done that in the past.
He is, man.
He's an expert narrative driver. Nobody drives a better narrative as an NBA coach than Michael Malone. He owns the press conferences. He will deliver on the Jokic triple double.
Dude,
I'm pretty confident in that.
I need like once this team wins a championship, I just need handwritten apology notes from every Malone hater. Malone is the guy you want with you in these situations.
And in the MVP discussion.
Yes, Malone is not scared of the smoke in any way.
Oh,
shape,
he
or
wants
form.
to. Are you kidding?
He
He's
wants
so
it,
comfortable
and he's
in the
like,
smoke.
and he's so he'll do the thing that you're scared to ask for. But he's but it's you're man, I really don't want them to win this because they'll get a less favorable matchup. He's yeah, guess what? Me either. I'm benching everybody. It's
oh man, this MVP conversation is so tiring. I'm just over it, Malone. Here, let me talk to all the haters out there.
35-12 and 13.
I know we're about to play the Spurs tonight, but let me talk about this MVP conversation really quickly.
So true.
He's the
Do
best.
you guys-
And I actually don't give a shit, but let me address it.
So back in the day, Penny Hardaway wasn't very charismatic, and they didn't know how to make a commercial around him, so they made Little Penny, who was the opposite of him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Malone and Jokic.
Yeah.
It's Malone's Little Penny. He's
it's
talk that shit.
the anger translator on Key and
That's
Peele.
also another reason why ESPN hates Nikola Jokic, because he just is not a superstar in the modern sense in the NBA.
He needs an American friend.
He doesn't care about all that shit, and
Somebody
the fact
tell
that he
him.
doesn't engage pisses those people off.
Last one here, guys, and this is more important to me than any of these stats. The average, the tally, the number. Will the Nuggets lose a game when he gets a triple-double this season?
No, Malone will not let that happen either. No, guys, this is the story that's being
I'm going to
written.
say
That's
no.
why I want
This
it.
is
That's
the
why I want
script.
it so
This
bad.
is the script.
That's why I want it so bad.
No, I'm going to say no.
No, of course not.
I'm sorry. What was
They're
the
not
question?
losing.
I'm sorry.
Will the
I
Nuggets
got lost in the sauce.
Will the Nuggets lose a game when Jokic has a triple-double? Currently 24-0.
No, absolutely not. No chance.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's not meant to happen.
I love it, guys. You guys are the best. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, I have some other predictions for you that are non-Jokic specific. Let's talk about some of the other Nuggets, shall we? We'll do that on the other
Who?
side.
This is a Jokic show, goddammit.
Oh man, Shady Rays. Kick off the new year with new gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and much more. Check out Shady Rays, an independent sunglass company. They have durable frames, extremely clear optics, way better than those high-priced brands that you've been wasting your money on over the years.
They have lots of different types of blue tint, yellow tint. They even have rose-colored.
Rose-colored.
Yeah, got it. He's making fun of us because we're being overly complimentary to the Denver Nuggets.
Oh,
That was
I'm sorry.
That was an-
I'm sorry, listeners.
What
and
that
watchers.
was. What
I'm
that was
sorry.
was an old-timey dad joke. Anyway, continue on.
Flamed them.
Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the new year for DNVR subscribers, DNVR listeners, DNVR watchers, and only DNVR diehards. Go to shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR. Get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. You can do that online or in person at Park Meadows Mall. Shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR, 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Also, Breckenridge Brewery is the official beer of DNVR. And have you heard of the Mile High City Golden Ale? Have you heard of it? Because it is an incredible beer in an incredible looking can in an incredible looking box. I mean, just look at that thing. It's
In
so,
an
it's
incredible
so
looking
beautiful.
city,
Yeah.
representing an incredible looking team.
Breck Brew outdid themselves with this one. Breck Brew is the official beer of DNVR. Check out the Mile High City Golden Ale for our golden year of Nuggets basketball. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out the Breck Brew beer locator at breckbrew.com.
Alrighty, back here, segment 3. Let's go over some other numbers that I prepared here for you. Murray needs 11 threes to break the all-time three-point record for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
That is currently held by Will Barton. Now, you guys might have been paying attention to the news lately. Will Barton is picked up by the Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
Okay, he's playing for the Raptors. He actually replaced Juancho Hernangomez in the lineup, which is weird.
Just quick, the league is Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, Juancho Hernangomez,
There's
Will
only people
Barton.
in that trade.
those are the
All
only
Tim's
players
draft
in
picks,
the
actually.
league.
It's very good
Who
point.
else was in that trade?
But hold on. So Will
Database
Barton,
deal.
anyway, he's there. And I don't know if you guys have looked at the schedule lately, but Will Barton and the Toronto Raptors will be in town on Monday. That's
Ooh,
just-
could he do it in his eye?
could he do it in his eye? But then, furthermore, where did Jamal Murray grow up?
Kitchener,
Little town
Canada.
named Kitchener.
Is it right outside of Toronto?
It is.
Like 45 minutes outside Toronto. He grew
So,
up
Canada, but we'll be watching.
So, Kit, did he grow up a Toronto Raptors fan?
He did. He loved Vince Carter.
Now, look, it's 11 threes away, man. 10 to tie, 11 to surpass.
Yeah.
That's a tough ask. But is it possible?
He just needs
8 tomorrow or Friday.
2 games.
2 games,
could-
man.
absolutely.
That's
Six and
easy.
five.
I mean,
It's gonna happen.
Jamal Murray's taking 10 plus threes in every single game now. We talked about
gonna
that
have
on
to
the
make
post game show last night.
Yeah, we before he got
like
injured,
it
we had
too.
unlocked this betting secret of like bet on Jamal Murray threes when he has the idea that he's going to become the all-time 3-point shooting record holder for the Denver Nuggets in his mind.
Yeah.
Because he wants that.
He really
he wants.
does.
So
He was so pissed when Will Barton got it last year.
What, he was?
I think so.
I think in a playful way. I
Yeah,
think
he was like,
yeah.
bro, I'd have this if I wasn't hurt right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, have your little
Tell him
celebration.
This is my Jamal Murray. He's the beta fish or whatever. You can't have 2 in the same bowl or they'll fight each other. This is Murray's thing. Does he like, well, yeah, we'll set a record. He's like, F that. Get this ass out of here. He didn't say that, guys. I'm teasing. Murray has not at any point this season had 11 threes over 2 games. So to do that would actually
That's
be
an
his
interesting
greatest
stat.
2-game
There's that
three-point.
part. There's
I
that
mean,
part.
now to be fair, he did just have 2 10-3. So he had 7 and then 3 and then 7 again and then 3 again. So he did almost get to that number twice.
It's going to be tough, no doubt. No doubt.
It's not like they're going up against a scrub team.
I
It's
know.
the
They've got
Grizzlies.
Memphis, really good defensive team. The Nuggets couldn't do anything on offense the last time they played the Grizzlies, but they are at home. Both these games are at home, though. So that kind of
and
makes you think it could happen.
I have not checked it currently, but last I looked, he was back.
So you think it's a possibility?
Yes.
Do you think it will happen?
Yes.
This is crazy.
I think it's going to take 3 games.
It could take 3 games, but I'm telling you, he wants it. This means something to him.
It does mean
there's
something. to him.
there's a
It
difference
does mean
between being
something.
like,
Absolutely.
oh man, like Jamal's, like he's really playing tonight versus like, oh man, Jamal wants the 3-point, right? He's only taking 3-point shots.
You're right. He's taking a lot. It would be cool
Yeah.
if he game theoried this out a month ago. He's like, all right, but after
It's
average
actually
5.
just not a change in like play style or
No,
like
it's
He
only
sets it,
threes.
goes right
yeah,
back.
it's not about like adjusting.
We
or
have been
it's
waiting
not what,
for him to do it his whole career.
Yeah, it's not what like Michael Malone, the coaching staff, have been asking
No.
for him. He just like remembered that he can break it this
He
year.
just keeps calling the high pick and roll over and over. They're like, we keep running this. She's like, yeah, run it again.
Run it again. I'm pulling up. Let's go,
Set
baby.
a better screen.
In his last handful
Like,
of
wait,
games,
why is Jamal still playing with the bench? He's 10 away from the record.
he's 10 away. He's just gunning. 7 threes, 3, 7, 3, 1, 4, 5. So he's been getting them up. But again, he has to have his best 2 games.
Who do they
ever
play
right now.
after Toronto?
Chicago in Denver.
Okay.
So I do think there's a good chance that he'll do it at home, although even there it's like 50-50 because then after that you go on the road to San Antonio and then you're back home against Brooklyn. So 4 of the next 5 games are at home, but the one he's most likely to set it on is the one on the road statistically, but
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, how about this one? Jokic, the season high right now for a Nuggets player is 43 points. Is that going to by Jokic? Is that going to remain the single game high? Will somebody have more than that from here on
That's
out?
a fun one.
We think Murray's going to get 8 3-pointers tomorrow night. We might as well take him to get more than 43.
I'm gonna for fun. I'm gonna say yes. For fun, I'm gonna say, doesn't it look like Murray and Porter have figured something out?
Man, Porter, that would be a career high.
The only thing is, it's nothing is coming like that for this team anymore. It's like you get 17, you get 20, I get 6
Yep.
and 8.
Balance.
But it's all stupid efficient. So probably no is the answer.
Dude.
But there is, to me, I do think Porter and Murray are hot enough from deep right now that if they were going for it, they could. I'll actually change my answer to no because I think it's just such a balanced effort. Right
Yeah,
now.
balance is the thief of joy, as it turns out, when you're talking about joy being very high scoring teammates.
So where are you going with?
Yeah, probably not, man. It's true. Like I do think that Jamal is on a perpetual mission to alert the NBA that he's who they thought he was, but he keeps getting hurt and getting derailed. So I do think he'll want to like score 50 points, or at least like it's in his mind to go off in these games. But I just think it's just, Michael Porter Jr. is out there, and KCP is out there, and Aaron Gordon's out there, and you can't just run 2-man game. Like, that's how they were getting those massive score totals in the bubble. It was just Jokic and Murray, and they're not going to run that anymore. So I don't know that it's possible, really.
It's one guy getting hot, though. The one thing about this equal offense is when a guy does get hot, look, man, Jokic does what everybody else does and looks for him.
That's true.
Yeah. I think if somebody gets it, it will be Jamal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I would say no.
43 will be the
Nobody gets
high.
above 43.
Yeah, I agree.
But Jamal's got the best chance.
I'm going to go yes. I do think Jamal, of all the players, has...
Jokic, score 100. Score 100 points. Do it.
I would be so shocked if Jokic breaks that 43. But with Murray, look, man, he's played his best ball over the last month. He did get hurt in between that. But I do think as we get closer and closer to the bubble, we're just going to see Murray.
Do they play the Rockets again?
They do have a couple bad teams, though, man. They don't play the Rockets.
Damn.
But let's see. They've got...
Then I'd definitely go over.
I mean, they've got San Antonio. They've got Detroit. They've got Washington. They've got Houston. They do have the Rockets. They do have them one more time.
Actually, let me amend that. Somebody is going over 43 points, and it's Jamal Murray against Houston.
Jamal, your back's been hurting. The knee inflammation. Do you want to sit
Jamal,
this game?
you were in a walking boot yesterday.
game?
You're playing
It's
today?
at Houston?
All right,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
go
in.
over.
Oh, it's the Rockets? Okay.
Let's go over some other ones. Michael Porter Jr.'s season high is 31. Will he break that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's say yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's say
We
yes.
all think he's going to break that.
He's on a bit of an ascension right
And
now.
I also think, well, you talked about Jokic. I think between Jokic and Murray, they're at an all-time high of like, you know what? Where's Mike? Let
Yeah.
me get the ball to Mike
That's right.
now, and
Yeah.
with good reason. So, the trouble is Mike has done such a good job of making himself a low-volume scorer, all things considered.
Right.
He's not hunting out 20-plus shots a game, so they'll have to find him. But he can get hot enough.
What would feel better, a Murray 50 piece or a MPJ 40 piece?
50 piece.
50 piece.
Yeah.
50
The way-
Wait, a 50 piece is.
Does
is
Porter
big
have a
time.
40-point game? I don't think he
I don't
does,
think he
right?
does. No,
I don't think
I
he
don't think
does.
so.
Then Kyrie Irving grabs the ball, kicks it into the scoreboard.
That was a 47 point game.
I know he almost had it. Oh, he almost had it. Man, it's just he cares about the integrity of the game. Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
There's no place for stat pad.
All right. Next one is Aaron Gordon's season high is 37. I'm going to go ahead and say that one won't get broken.
No way. Yeah, no way.
I think 37 is kind of remarkable.
And he had that a couple games ago, right?
Wasn't the Orlando game?
Oh, God damn it, in a loss.
They
You're
gotta
right.
step up for AG.
They
against
really
Orlando.
do. Here's
He's
a crazy
been such
one.
a good nugget. Can we help him
Everybody's
out?
like, who do we got on the schedule? The Magic. And Aaron Gordon's in the gym at like 6
Just
a.m.
salivating.
come on, guys.
Watching
You're mean.
film.
Pointing stuff out on
Marco Fultz.
film in the locker room and
Defense
everyone's
first,
like on their
boys.
phone.
He's like,
Get
yo,
stopped.
here's the game plan on Wendell Carter tonight. And Yo's just like watching
Running up the
watching a
staircase like
horse
Rocky.
race on his
Dun, dun,
phone.
dun, dun, dun. Everyone else is like, bro, I think I might sit tonight.
We gotta watch out for Mo Wagner.
Here's a crazy one. What would you guys guess KCP's season high is?
23.
Yeah, it's probably pretty
Yeah,
low.
20 something.
What would you guess?
24.
22.
23, 24,
22.
22. 21.
Wow.
21. Are we going to get over that?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Man, KCP's only 21. All right, Nuggets as a team, 146 points. Guys, scoring is out of control.
Hang on.
No
So
way.
they do play Houston again, you said.
They do.
They do play
That's
Houston.
a
All right.
valid point.
Yeah, but it's the fourth to last game.
okay,
like
you're
they
right.
might not play
But
it, guys.
That's a reason they could go to like double OT though that game.
Although that's a game that Houston might be like, we can't win. We have to lose this with 4 games to go, and we have to lose them all.
Houston's already like locked into a bottom 3 record.
All right. 23 pointers made is their record.
This
That's
could
gonna
go
be-
over.
Dude, Murray's going to get that in.
He's going to get us 8
So we've
tomorrow.
got 10 from Murray tomorrow.
All right. Yeah.
Look at Scott Beck. Jeff Green over 24. That is the biggest lock of
That's
them all.
hilarious. 44 assists. They had 40 last night.
They kind of almost did it last night.
They kind of almost did, which
I
would
was
have been
rooting
sick.
for
We're just stat padding.
God.
Probably not.
All right. So we kind of feel like the
That's
highs.
the NBA
It
season
sounds.
high,
If I'm reading this correctly, you guys think everyone's high has already passed except for Jamal Murray and maybe Michael Porter.
That's how I feel. That sounds about right.
Reggie Jackson?
Well, he doesn't count. He's been here for 4 games. I think his best is probably ahead. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, real quick, just a small little segment here where we ask, are the Lakers done? And also, I don't know if you've read the headlines.
Super small. Yeah, they're done.
I don't know if you've seen the headlines lately, but John Morant
What?
Beating up children. We'll talk about that on the other side.
Wow.
Let's go
tease.
back to segment 1.
What a tease.
Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site. Makes it
super
easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. If you ever wanted to sit 50-yard line behind home plate, first row at a concert, you can do that with the Game Time app. Use our link in the description. That's very important. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app. Score the best seats to all of your favorite events. Use our link in the description, podcast description, YouTube description. It's all in there. At DraftKings Sportsbook, make sure to get in on the no sweat, same game parlay. Even if you miss your bet, even if you throw down a same game parlay that you definitely think is going to hit.
Oh my God, like me last night, and I just needed one Jokic steal. Oh, you know what though?
I fell for you.
I got $10 back.
Then you can just do it tomorrow.
I can keep hurting
You
myself.
can run it back on the same bet tomorrow with the NBA No Sweat Same Game Parlay. Download the app now. Sign up with code DNVR. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA with code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Alrighty, final segment here, guys. Lakers got shorthand here. LeBron heard a pop, played through it. Apparently, it had a bad foot to be going into it, but heard a pop, and now is going to miss an indefinite. I mean, like depending on who you ask, it could be a week, could be 3 weeks. It sounds like 3 weeks is the standard.
The actual diagnosis is let's see what our record is in
It's
2
so
weeks.
true. It's so true.
Then I'll decide if I come back
That's
or
why,
not.
and my third eye is open on this one, where I'm just kind of sitting here going, I don't know. Something about this report doesn't fully feel well. But
Yeah.
we go to tonight's game. It's a must-win game for two teams: the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Must-win for both.
Who's playing?
No LeBron and no Shea. So you've got the Lakers. Got to put their
Gotta
best
go
foot
get
forward.
this one, dude.
So
if you
AD
can play, go. If you can play, go.
AD is also out.
Oh,
he's ruled out
that's
early for this
interesting.
one. Are the Lakers? Are you guys ready to declare the Lakers done, or do you think that this is going to be a drawn, excruciatingly drawn out, most annoying story?
They're
that could be?
not done because they're gonna throw in the towel on the season. LeBron doesn't even want to play anymore, and they're still gonna get into that stupid play-in tournament because the Thunder are tanking and everybody else around them doesn't want to be in it.
Are the Thunder tanking? They've lost 4 in a row.
They're
It's
doing
so
like
annoying.
a faux tanking type thing.
Or they just don't have
Isn't
Shea.
Shea just out though?
They just don't care.
He is, but
They don't care. And the Lakers, LeBron doesn't even want to be in the playoffs. Anthony Davis doesn't want to play tonight. They are toast. They're not real. They're not a good team, but they're not done because they're just going to fall backwards into this play-in bullshit.
They also have they have acquired quietly a team of tryhards.
And they don't have their pick either, so it's
Jared
like,
Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley.
Yeah, but
they
their
have
stars
Austin
aren't tryhards
Reeves.
right now. Their stars aren't tryhards. Like that's
No, that's the thing. But
Right.
they have guys that are good enough to get over the crummy teams and get into the playoff, even though they have they're top heavy with sludgy, old guard, gross old teammates that aren't going to play. I mean, LeBron is probably done for the season.
but D'Angelo's also out. AD's out. LeBron's out. So it's really just like.
But I
the
think
next game
you
LeBron
can,
plays in might be the play-in.
But I feel like you can win games with Rui Hachimura and Jared
Except for they're
Vanderbilt
going
and
up
Malik
against
Beasley.
the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies. They're
Yeah,
playing other teams.
but they're also playing the Thunder and
Tonight, man, the Thunder better win that. If I would be so disappointed in the Thunder. They have more talent even on their roster for this. I'm so disappointed in them. All right, the other one is John Morant. It's come out slowly. Information has come out, but that he got in a fight with a teenager over the summer. It sounds like it is actually a little bit worse. New report just came out that he punched him 12 or 13 times. The Grizzlies have had their own slide. Honestly,
lot of times.
everybody points to, it was the dust up with Shannon Sharp, which maybe was part of it. And then Steven Adams goes out right after that. But this story also came out right at that time. Is there any chance? That's a young, very, very young team. Is there any part of you that thinks that Memphis might be hitting the fall off point with all of these distractions?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, with that team, they are young, they are confident, they're cocky, and for most of this season, you looked at them and you're like, yeah, I mean, keep doing what you're doing. I feel like they're missing that just guy who can just kind of shed some light on them and just talk some sense into them. Like, this is one of Michael Malone's greatest skills. Like, he will never let the Nuggets get too high or too low.
Yeah.
Because even going into last night's game, Malone in his pregame comments was like, typical Malone when the Nuggets are about to play a shitty team. We can't, overlook these guys. We've got to take them seriously. That was my message to everybody in the locker room. Like, Malone is great at that, and I feel like Memphis doesn't have that.
Right. I mean, I think they're missing that as well. But also, like, their top player just seems to have, like, a little some distractions again. I mean,
Yeah, and now they're the 2 seed, right? So if this
Barely.
if this playoff run doesn't go the way that they want it to, all that stuff starts crashing in, right? And it's not because of injuries that they didn't get it done, or at least it hasn't been so far. So, yeah, man, all those tough questions will be asked louder, more frequently. We've experienced it. There's just tension. There's just additional tension when there's expectations. And if the guy you're looking to has questions about him, that's a factor. Like with this stuff, we'll wait and see details, but it's also now the 4th story we've heard about Ja Morant, I'm sure his teammates have his back. I'm sure they do. But this isn't what you love to hear about your leader when you need to be looking to your leader more than ever. I think they're in danger of, like, if they don't win this year, you're going to hear a lot of, they got to get another star in there. They have to.
Dude, Ja Morant needs to grow up so much. He is such a kid, man.
He also is a kid.
I know, but he's such a kid. Like, he needs to grow up because he's in a position where he's has, like, in many ways, rightfully really grabbed the heart of that team. Like, he is the heart of that team, and he's like, behavior like this at this stage, at this level in his life is so embarrassing, honestly. Like, that he's like getting in fights at malls and stuff. Like, what are you bro? You got
this is the thing I heard discussing another player the other day, but I heard somebody make a really good point. This is like about a prospect, which was, none of us really can judge what happened. You have to let, like, sometimes a court of law play out, or like this or that, like this. But you can judge a person by, did they put themselves in a bad situation?
Yeah, man. What are you doing?
And I think that's like the broader point is, like, you're now in a point where there's too many more important things going on for you to be caught in a situation where it's like, well, why were you there for that? Why were you doing that?
Keep getting caught in these types of situations?
Because the problem with that type of stuff is that it's fake. It's like he's putting himself in these fake conflicts that aren't based in actual reality. It's like it's kid stuff, man.
I'll let it all play out. I don't know. My main point is just that's like an added distraction that like if it was with the Nuggets, I would be like, man, this is a bummer.
I know the Nuggets have really had one distraction this season, and they handled it.
Yeah, and Memphis just doesn't need it right now.
That's been it, and it's been the most drama this team has been around in 7 years.
All right, let's race through these super chats, Kale. We appreciate you guys throwing some our way. Dylan says, "Are the Nuggets the most disrespected #1 seed in recent history?"
No, it was the Hawks, and they deserved it.
Well, they were frauds.
But everybody views the Nuggets as those Hawks. That's
I
the
know,
thing.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, the Nuggets do have the back-to-back MVP.
That's the difference between them and
that's
those
just a
teams.
small difference.
Yeah, that's the difference. Those Jazz teams too, but then that ended up being right.
The best player on those teams was who?
On the Hawks team? Millsap?
Well, they couldn't decide. They just sent them all to
PFM, baby.
Shut up, Paul Millsap, man.
Paul Millsap, great player.
Yeah.
He's not a back-to-back MVP.
No Look Yoke says, every time Jokic gets a new scar, it's called scar padding. Dang it, I had that one in my back pocket. I was so excited to use for this one.
That's a
I
great
guess it
one.
wasn't that. Everybody had it. I love it, though. Love y'all. Go
padding.
Nuggets.
No,
Nuggets.
go Nuggets.
Go Nuggets.
Nuggets.
That's Trey says, never thought I'd say this as a Nuggets fan, but this diatribe from the talking heads makes me wish Kobe was around to weigh in. He'd appreciate Jokic. I've said this for years. man.
Him and JJ Redick would be great on the pod together.
No, I honestly think like JJ doesn't have any clout. I mean, he has clout generally, but he doesn't have it. Yeah, he doesn't have like LeBron's.
He's not
like
Kobe. Yeah.
But Kobe coming out and saying these things, like I'm just telling you, the whole league would get in line in some way or another. And I also think Kobe, like he just liked foreign players. I think he would have like called some of the undertones out about like, what are you guys doing? You guys really think Team USA? How many times have we lost in international competitions over the last 20 years? You're really going to act like, like these guys are scrubs now? Like, get with the times, man. I really think it would have made a difference there.
Yeah, the closest thing that we have is Jalen Rose, who is like a staunch defender of Jokic for reasons that are like purely basketball and like it's so refreshing when he talks. It would be dope.
And
if
Kobe would also be comfortable enough like if he was on ESPN or something, to where he wouldn't have to say stuff for ratings,
Well,
which is actually what's going on.
Hold on.
here.
No, it's not all though, Harrison.
It's a big part of
it.
it.
It is a big part of it, but it's actually not the biggest part. Kobe is big enough to fight the LeBron agenda, which is actually, in my opinion, the bigger part of this. The people that are saying these things the loudest, they're LeBron/clutch people. And to me, that's part of it. And Kobe was big enough to be like, yeah, but I'm also a mega
Right.
powerful entity that can like combat these types of things. All right, what else we have?
This one's fun.
The Capes Crusader says, no disrespect, but Jokic is slowly becoming overrated. His peers don't even see him as a top 5 player. He's
False.
about to win another MVP and no ring. Oh, dude, somebody paid us for that. That's,
Yeah.
What a dub.
Well, it's cool. They followed up to say that we're biased, and I just want to say.
Oh, wait, did he pay again or
I
no?
just want to say you're
no.
right that the Nuggets,
Yeah.
the Nuggets people doing the Nuggets show do have a Denver Nuggets
Hey,
bias.
thanks for your money.
Yeah.
That's like, honestly, man,
Actually, Kendrick Perkins.
it might actually be Kendrick Perkins. Like,
By the way-
paid money for that. That's what a dub.
By the way, I know that we will.
Well, you got to a point where you have to pay to insult us.
We will beat the disrespect drum, but the player voting seems to suggest they understand he's good. So,
Also, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
He's undeniably great. It doesn't matter what the players think.
GK
says Eric.
Eric's the goat.
Small
dog. Nice
Eric
shirt.
Small Dog.
Small
Nice
dog,
shirt.
yeah. More of a puppy, I think, but yeah.
I would say.
I'd say puppy. Sam says, might we be projecting his mindset a little? Yes, absolutely. I
yeah,
kind
no
of think
doubt.
he was
Yeah.
making a joke and still doesn't give a shit what others say. Thank you for that super chat because it's much needed. Absolutely.
I kind of am on that during.
I'm in between. Eric is convinced it's 100% weight behind it. I think that there's probably a little weight, but
I'm curious to see.
Don't delude yourself.
I think there's 100% something behind it.
Oh yeah, you can. There's a
I
little.
hope so.
There's a little saying that
This is the guy, Nikola Jokic, who said the basketball gods are always watching.
There's also an old
Saying
saying.
he's stat
talking about
padding
himself.
is the stat padding is the biggest
I'm
thing you
watching.
can do to disrespect.
Also,
the
the
basketball
eyes
gods.
are the windows to the soul, and if you could look into those eyes and not see that the real resolve in there, like you're not paying attention.
Post Nut says Nash, Nowitzki, and Jokic. What do these MVPs have in common? Most racist statement I've heard just to defend that Jokic isn't the MVP. Look, it's out in the open now. It's 100% true. This stuff is like,
God damn it!
People
it's on-
still think white European dudes are soft.
Do you know what those three guys have in common?
They're all
They got
great.
mercilessly shit on before and after the MVP award.
Bro,
that's
To the
actually
point where
another
we're
one.
bringing them up now
It's
in
actually true.
2023.
It's actually true.
So lame.
Zachary says Jokic needs Malone's short king energy.
Strong effing agree. Strong, a little bit of fu. Come on.
That's actually where
They're
a
out
lot,
to get you,
that's
buddy.
actually where a lot of Malone's energy comes from. He is a short king basketball
that
guy.
short.
How short is he?
I love when Serbians try to
He's
explain the knot to
5'11".
me.
Do you think he's
5'6".
5'11"? Is he 5'11"?
Malone? Probably 5'10", 5'11".
Man, I'm telling you, I don't mean this as an
He's
insult.
5'9".
Can't tell the difference between you two.
That feels like an
Height-wise.
insult. How about that?
No, it should feel like
Oh
a
my
compliment.
god, man! You guys are shorting Malone here, big time.
But he's a basketball guy, basketball family, grew up around. He has a little bit of tiny king energy, does he not?
He has a little bit of FU energy, which
That's
is
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
thing.
Yeah,
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Short guy energy.
It is.
All right, we're gonna go to IV Nutrition, guys. We had a great time. Oh man, somebody came in late.
$5.
No, 500, and it says Stephen Harding. We appreciate it. Super chat
chat.
at the buzzer. Everybody, we're gonna be back again. Very special edition of the show tomorrow.
Yeah, one.
Oh yeah, special edition.
Big announcement!
Is there a big announcement to be made tomorrow?
Big
God, I'm
announcement.
nervous, man. This is a big day.
Woo! An all-timer
Big
episode.
announcement.
All right, you guys
be
are not
great.
going to want to miss tomorrow. We'll see you then.